Hey guys, it's Chelsa Messenger with Picks and Parlays. We're talking NBA because it's still going on despite all these other sports trying to take away your attention. We still got edges on some of these games and there's still plenty of money to be made. We're talking Blazers and Clippers. It's Masters Week, which means we have a promo code for 20% off the entire site at picksandparlays.net. The code is golf. Clippers home favorites here -5.5. Total is 226. We've got Portland coming in at 30-19, 25-24 against the number. Meanwhile, LA 33-18, 29-22 against the spread. We've got Kurt Alexander here to break this one all down for us. Kurt, what stands out to you about these two teams?
Well, basically the inconsistencies that we're getting with the LA Clippers. For a while there, you thought that the Clippers kind of snapped back into it. They are winners of 7 of their last 10. I will say that. But there are 2 games that really stand out to me where I'm just so confused with this team. They played the Orlando Magic a few nights ago, and they had a 51-37 lead at halftime. And you're like, okay, here go the Clippers. This is what they do. Kawhi Leonard's in the game. Paul George was not. So you have that with the Clippers as well, where you're not sure if you're going to see both these guys. You're not sure what the lineup's going to look like. But Kawhi was pretty much carrying the team against a lowly Orlando team here. But in the second half, Orlando outscores them 66-45 and wins the game outright. And then the next day, or the next time they play, they're playing Denver, and Paul George is back, and they lose 101-94 to Denver, with Paul George only producing 7 points in that game. And with those inconsistencies, like I said, it's really hard for me to back this Clipper team and lay points with them, especially when you're playing Portland, and Portland has Dame Lillard. And Lillard does not like, and he's voiced his opinion on this, these super teams, these guys that kind of team up together to try to win championships. Seems like he has an edge on a chip on his shoulder when these guys come to town. And the Clippers have already beaten Portland once this season. It was early in the season, but they already took 1 game from him. So I'm looking for Dame to have a really good game, especially on the road. They're 4-0 straight up in their last 4 road games. They've won 5 out of their last 6 games overall. So I'm definitely on the side of the Portland Trailblazers here. I would advise you to take the points and sprinkle a little bit on the money line. I think this is a Portland team that definitely has some action of winning this game outright, especially the way the Clippers have been playing. Like I said, they started off really well over these last 10, and then you just kind of saw them fade in the last 2 out of the last 3 games. So they're definitely vulnerable.
Yeah, it looks like their offense is stalling, scoring 96, 94, and only 104 points in their last 3 games. Granted, that last one against the Lakers was a win, but still, their offensive numbers aren't jumping out to you. And then you've got a Portland team that is known for draining some threes and sometimes scoring at will. They've made 23-pointers at least in their past 2 games. We know Dame Lillard likes to throw them up. CJ McCollum can do it too. So when you've got a team that offense is really their strong point, and then you've got a team that's kind of struggling offensively, I think it's a good chance to take on the dogs here. Looking at a total of 226, any leanings there?
If I had to take this total, I would definitely take it over. Portland is, 5th in the league in scoring, like you said. They shoot the 3 very well. Carmelo Anthony is as an older player. He is definitely, he was one of my favorite players coming out of Syracuse. I really liked his game because he was a scorer. You're young at the time and you're not understanding, like there's more to basketball than just scoring. But he's turned into such a team player.
Not for him. Not for him growing up. Like you said, he's gotten a lot better as of late. He's definitely a team role player now. Continue.
Yes, as a veteran, and on this Portland team where you definitely have a superstar. So Melo, you don't have to do much. He's still shooting the ball, he's still getting his shots, but he's not that ball stopper he was in years past, where he'd get the ball and you would kind of see guys running down to play defense already because they know he's not going to pass it. He's definitely playing more team ball, and I think that time away from the league, where teams were kind of like, I don't want him, we're going to cut him. Houston, yeah, we're going to cut him after 10 games. I think that kind of humbled him down a lot, especially being a player that has won his whole career coming up. So I would definitely take this game over. I think that the Portland's going to definitely try to push their offense on the Clippers, and the Clippers are going to have to snap out of this little slump that they're in if they're going to try to keep up with some of the top teams in this league. So if I had to take this this total, I'd definitely take it over.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for our NBA talk here on Picks and Parlays. Great stuff from Kurt Alexander as always. Kurt, thanks for joining us.